Here comes Brevey, the magical girl in Tower of Fantasy, brandishing the first weapon that harbors the might of both Volt and Frost, Pactcrest. As a girl who firmly believes that the zenith of science is magic, she infused her weapon with this very same paradoxical concept, stubbornly endowing it with both DPS and support capabilities. Now, let's dive into the highlights of Brevey, the scientific magical girl. 1. When Brevey is on field, tap and hold the normal attack for her most effective way to deal damage. Her familiar will relentlessly lash out at enemies with Pink Chain Frenzy. When Brevey is off field, her familiar continue to assist in attacks, and the familiar's damage element will follow the current on-field weapon element. 2. Brevey's weapon skill, besides dealing and boosting damage, grants up to 3 charges of the familiar skill. There's a simple prerequisite to gain the familiar skill. Just deal a certain amount of damage to enemies. Once acquired, unleash it will. Metz, here's some minions for you. After activating 3-star Brevey, this derivative skill can be stored for 2 additional charges. Seize the moment for a triple burst! Oh, and Brevey also has 3 passive damage boosts, Force Impact and Volt Frost Fusion, which are similar to Yan Miao's Armor Dissolve and Fusion of Mass and Flame, and the fixed damage trait Thunderbolt Swift Cut. We'll spare the details of these well-known passives for now. With Brevey's DPS traits covered, let's explore her support capabilities. Please note that the following support abilities can only be available after the activation of Benediction Resonance. Firstly, Brevey can designate a teammate as her bestie, who will then receive a familiar Metz that follows them around. To do this, use a normal attack in a non-combat state at a teammate, and Metz will start following the teammate. Don't underestimate the following Metz, as it brings healing and damage boost to the bestie, and with 1-star Brevey or above, it can automatically heal and block lethal damage when the bestie's in low HP. While Metz is following a bestie, Brevey's weapon skill will also heal the bestie and nearby teammates, remove everyone's debuffs, including the annoying graying bite effect, and grant temporary control immunity. 3-star Brevey can accumulate an additional weapon skill use to gain an edge during critical moments. Brevey's discharge skill in Benediction state can also remove debuffs from her bestie and nearby teammates. Interestingly, the domain it forms can turn nearby enemies into dizziness. That sure adds a touch of humor to the tense battles, right? Okay, that wraps up Brevey's DPS and support introduction. Next, let's look at her instance effect, which can be quite miraculous. Miraculous Turnaround. 1. When challenging Bygone Phantasm and Sequential Phantasm, carry Brevey's weapon for an extra 15 seconds of challenge time. 2. When challenging Origin of War, carry Brevey's weapon for an extra 25 seconds of challenge time. If another teammate also carries it, that's 50 seconds extra challenge time. This could be the key to conquering those tough stages you've been struggling with. Oh, and finally, Brevey also boasts flexible movement abilities. Tap and hold normal attack during a fall to spin like a top as Metz. Now, to our weapon combinations and actual combat performance section. Recommended combination 1, Volt Team. The key point is to put Brevey on field as the DPS of the Volt Team. Activate Brevey's skills after deployment and tap and hold normal attack to deal damage with the lightning skills that refresh constantly. Recommended combination 2, Frost Team. In this setup, both Brevey and Ling Han have on-field capabilities, besides the DPS method based on combat situations. Remember, Brevey's Frost damage boost is effective only off-field. After activating Brevey's skills, switch to Ling Han on-field for maximized DPS. Brevey Showcase. Thanks for watching!